Woohoo!
We are
Welcome
live.
back. It is
Wednesday,
Wednesday.
December 15th,
Yes, it is.
2021. And this is
What
the.
happened to your mic, Hiram?
Oh, I don't know.
I think you're leaning on your cable.
He's fading, yo.
Am I? No, I'm not.
I can hear you
Now
now.
you're
Hello?
good. Now
Yeah.
you're
I'm good.
See, it's like that garden hose. If you lean on it and you pinch it, it will not. Flow. It will not.
I'm not
flow.
saying I'm a millennial, but what's a garden hose? I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that actually?
So welcome,
See? They don't know what it's like to drink out of them. What's up? This is Hiram.
BK.
Chris.
And we are here with the post Best of the Fest pre-Christmas Thanksgiving holiday edition of the Hang On to Your Shorts podcast. Very excited about today because we have 3 weeks left until we close the queue.
Yeah.
And we start getting ready for the 2022.
We already started watching a few.
Oh, yes we did. And
fun.
Yeah, those were the ones you told me to watch. I'm not going to name any names. They just, dude, like the quality in them were just phenomenal.
you know what? I am going to name names.
Okay.
I don't
Are we
care.
allowed to do that?
Of
Yes.
I mean,
because
well,
why?
yeah, it's
because it's our festival.
yeah, exactly.
So there were 4 films already, and I'm pretty certain that we're going to hear more from them and about them, and hopefully even screen them this year. One of them is called Wonderland, Siphon, Gay Dream, and Wicked Image, and all 4 were amazing. I have watched films for a couple of nights, and there've been a lot of good projects.
Mhm.
It's not very easy to rate these films, and I look forward to hearing from other people. But when I watched these 4, it was almost in a row, and I'm like, oh dang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I the ones you like named like in order, like they were actually coincidentally my favorite in that order. Wonderland, I don't know why, like just hit me like right in the feels, man. Like it was just so well shot and well, like the stories were really good. And then Siphon I didn't see coming. And I think Siphon, if whoever, the director, that team, if they can get that on like network, like that could really be something.
Yes.
It's a mixture of like obviously like The Boys and then like Dexter, like the kind of like you're
nice
playing like a
twist.
vigilante kind of thing.
Nice
So
No, it is amazing. And you know what? Wonderland, the one thing about Wonderland, like I said, we will speak more about these films in the future. Wonderland, one of the actors did an amazing job of acting without uttering one word.
yeah, that's difficult to do. That's very difficult to do. And I didn't really notice that until halfway through. I was like, oh, he hasn't said a line of dialogue.
Yeah.
But everything he's seeing is everything I guess he's portraying is
everything. Yeah,
was just really, really good. Like it was really good. It was really good acting. The Wonderland, like across the board for me, everything was like great about it.
Yeah, he was emotionally alive without uttering one freaking word, and I love that.
Wow.
Gay Dream is just a fun. It's a play on the word Gay Dream.
I didn't know what to, like coming into it. I didn't know what to expect with that, and it was just really. It was like you said, it was fun. They did the split. Like it reminded me of an Edgar Wright film. Like it really had like the elements of like Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Like just like the split screens, and then like
fourth wall.
Yeah, like
Right.
Not to spoil anything, but they did recreate a scene from Casablanca. Was that Casablanca?
It might have been.
Yes,
It is.
They recreated a scene in Casablanca, like verbatim of like the shot, the style of it, like the frame rate,
black and white,
the black and white, the music.
I can't really hear myself.
And finally, Wicked Image.
I can hear them. Oh, here I am.
Yeah, there you go.
You are. Miss O'Scanlan was in that movie, and her and her co-stars were amazing. So,
bless you. If you sneeze.
So, I am very
if
optimistic.
not, bless you anyway.
And then we watched a few films the other night
yes.
at your house that were pretty good.
Hiram Chalet.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm being generous.
Okay, so what? One of the things,
just weirdness.
This is kind of like an exposition of what happens when one has a film festival. First, before we even talk about our experience in the house, the one thing that I'm very grateful for in 2022 is that thanks to you, we have gotten many more eyes in these films.
Chris O, thank you, sir.
No problem.
And we will be speaking about these people some more and all of that, but one or two of us cannot do a film festival alone.
Yeah, it's impossible.
That being said, the other
Not done
day,
well anyway.
But it's just impossible to do. It's
Yeah.
it's and more opinions are going to bring, like, we had a full conversation about it, like what something you're focusing on is going to be different from what I'm focusing on, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So it's different, and the more eyes, honestly, watching it and giving different input, the better. Is something that you guys could be like, oh crap, I didn't even think about that, and me too.
Mhm.
Like, you guys might be. You always tell me, like, oh, we brought you on because you're a filmmaker and you're going to do it from a filmmaker standpoint, but you guys are like, you love movies, so
Mhm.
you know, like, what is a good movie and what's not a good movie, and you're watching it from a fan's perspective, and that's the reason why filmmakers make films, is for people like
For the
fans
fans.
to watch.
For the
Exactly.
fans.
yes.
So you guys really do, like, you know what you're seeing, and you're like, and we all kind of were like, yeah, this ain't the one, or we were like, no, this is really good. Like,
Yeah.
So the way we do it is, for the second time, we've done a kickoff where we have watched films before, but this is the first time we get together as a group
Yeah.
and watch films.
Yeah.
We pre-party a little bit. I have 120 something bottles and cans of select, very good
And
tasting
he's
draft beer.
really not bragging.
No.
It's really,
And
it's
he's
just
not-
a phenomenal. It's a phenomenal collection, and I envy it, because being the beer geek that I am for so long, when I saw the bags of beer, the beer in the refrigerator, the beer in the closet, I was like, this is what's going to happen when I have a house. I'm going to be hoarding
Well, I'm
beer
not
like
bragging.
you are. No,
I'm
no,
not
no, no,
bragging.
you're not.
I'm
No, no,
lucky.
no.
I'm lucky, but I'm even luckier to get to share them with you guys.
No, I know.
Yeah,
it's-
you gave me 2 beers the other day, and, like, I forgot which one it was. It was a smaller
Schaefer.
stout.
I think it was Schaefer
The,
and
the bourbons,
Rheingold.
the beer in the the beer that was, I guess, aged in, like, bourbon barrels, or
Yes.
or
It was a Founders, I think.
Oh yeah.
it
Was it?
out
Was
of
that?
this world.
Was that the Velvet Rush, or was that
Velvet
the,
Rush?
Yeah, that
it was a Velvet Rush. It was out of this world, and the
quite good.
sweetness of the bourbon. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, you're not exaggerating when you say you have 120 beers. You were like, I have some here, now come over here. I have some
Yeah,
here, now
yeah, it
check
was-
under there.
It
Like,
was
I'm like,
crazy. Yeah. It was
So
crazy.
we would watch 2 or 3 films, and then we'd get a refill,
Yeah.
and we would
Or
discuss.
start with a refill.
Yeah.
Start with a refill.
Yeah.
And we would really discuss the merit, the value of each film, and there are going to be times where we don't agree, of course.
Yeah.
you
It's,
think? You really think?
Well,
Yes.
I
No,
think
no, no. I don't-
artistically,
Artistically,
yeah, but I don't know that it's going to be like,
Because
what the fuck did you
yeah,
say?
so
Well,
far,
not this time.
we've been on
Yeah,
the
right,
same
right,
page.
right.
Yeah, so far we've been on the same page
Yeah,
with certain movies.
Yeah.
We all agreed ones that were, like you said, really not that good, and some that were, like, just kind of blown away. Like, did you get a chance to watch, like, the ones that
I
you sent? No.
unfortunately did not. and
You're
I-
going to
I-
enjoy them a
yeah,
lot. Like, they're
no.
so good,
Yeah,
and
I'm
they're
kinda
all
psyched
under
about it.
10 minutes. That's what's, like, for me. That's what's tough. Like, telling a compelling story under that amount of time is really difficult.
Hmm.
So
and you know what?
That's the true art of storytelling.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yes.
like, and that's why I think short film, or is what it is, because it's condensing everything down, and like our friend Maurice Paramore, who expanded that film just
Yeah.
from that short that he had made, Regrets, and I think that's where it's at right now. I think we're just really looking at this part of our little world that is interested in short film, and kind of being aware of it, and conscious of it, and spilling, and just all the things that are considered in
I've yet
in
to
good
spill
filming.
anything. So
No,
far,
no,
I'm
you're
good.
on point, man.
I'm
that's
at
good.
the end of the
That's
table.
good.
That's
I
why.
haven't
That's
spilled
cool.
anything either. Believe me.
You have not, but because you didn't drink your beer, I had to spill it for you.
Yes. Oh, that's
Yeah.
why it was lower. Oh,
That's why I had none in my cup.
Sorry, buddy.
you're killing me.
So how many films do we have in the
We have-
queue? Let's say,
we
that
have
people
180 something.
is that what's the most that's ever been? Because this is only my second year.
Oh, well,
like,
the most right before COVID, we had. I don't know if we should be spilling out festival secrets, but you know what? We
Okay.
are a family. 260 something films
wow.
in one of the queues. There was a time where there were multiple queues, so there
Okay.
might have been more. Obviously, the COVID year last year, the COVID festival year was a little bit
Streaming.
light on the films.
Yeah, understandable. So.
180 is average. It is literally average. So to get average in a post-COVID year, I am not complaining.
And when is the final
December 31st or December 30th. Yes.
Really?
it's-
Okay.
We just
all
got-
right.
It's coming up.
Are we in church right now?
Oh gosh. Yeah. we have two.
It does sound.
We have two pre.
It does sound like
we
we're
have
in
two
church.
teenagers in the background that are not listening to us when we ask them to lower the volume.
They're behind the curtain.
They're behind the curtain. Literally.
Like Oz.
Put them back there.
Like Oz.
Yeah, yes.
I'm gonna start calling my son the wizard. AJ is the wizard.
Yeah.
But speaking of how many films we have, we were speaking about this on the way up here, you and I.
Sure.
You weren't there because you came from a different direction.
Yep.
Somewhere else.
We really appreciate your ideas. And, just like we were talking about the good films that we have watched so far, one of the things that we hope to incorporate this year in order to make the 2022 version of the Hang Out to Your Shorts Film Festival more effective for you, the filmmaker, is we want to have more panels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will speak about that when we speak about the Best of the Fest in a few
Definitely.
minutes.
Yeah.
But that's an idea. I've been with this festival for a handful of years, and I've promoted and I've proceeded the way that you guys did it all along.
Right.
But now that I saw the way the Q&As worked
Mhm.
and how effective they were and how important they seem to be to the filmmaker and to the fans who asked a ton of questions.
No. That was incredible.
What you did really well, unless if you want to jump into it or we can wait, but what you did well was,
Just jump right
does anyone have any questions? No one says anything. You immediately, Hiram, were like, all right, so, and then
Mhm.
you started it off. That's something that you did really well. Like you started it off. They got to hear, myself or Michael Broderick or Zach Cron, or they got to hear these people start talking about it. Then people felt more engaged or more inclined to raise their hand and ask. I know Chris Grant, he was always like, he asked one question that's very pivotal in my opinion to all filmmakers. How long did it take you to shoot the film?
Yes.
And I thought that was really funny. And then when he was on stage, my wife had to be like,
Yeah,
I'm going to hit you with the same question.
that was hilarious.
But it was just, it's I like hearing that. Like, how long did it take you to make these films? And that's very, very important. So, and that was filmmakers interacting with other filmmakers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's really, really important, because at the end of the day, I think when we're at this independent level, we all really do like appreciate our peers. I appreciate every peer I have who's shown me the respect and has given me, they're like, give you your flowers. That's the terminology now. That's nice that you're able to be like, that film is great. I don't know how many times I heard that night. I don't know how many times I've said it to everyone, because seeing it on the big screen was so
But
much fun.
keep in mind, that was what the idea behind the Best of the Fest was. This was the best that we picked for this festival. Best of the Fest for this
year or that
showing,
that showing.
Because the reality was we didn't get to show it live, which was unfortunate, but it was due to COVID. We don't have any control over that. And at the end of the day, this was the outcrop of that whole idea. And we've been planning on doing this for years and just never got it off the ground. And I got to say, Hiram, give you props, man. You went after it and you got that guy to give us, but really kind of like for a really decent price, get us that theater in Red Bank, which was fucking
and
awesome.
they advertised for like theater rental space. Like I saw that up there. So that's nice that you were able to find someone who actually does that.
Yes. Well, first of all, guys, thank you for the really kind words. And
But it's reality.
But
it's reality.
But here's the thing. I go back to what I was saying. The way that Hang On to Your Shorts has tended to address this issue is we have 3 hours.
Mhm.
We're going to pack those 3 hours with as many movies as we can.
Sure.
This is what we've done.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That was the thing.
When Chris O came around, he says, as a filmmaker, I value this. How about we create some space for Q&As?
Mhm. Right.
And you know what? I know some people are probably listening and like, of course it does, a film festival. You know what?
No,
But not every
no.
film festival does that.
Yes.
Like honestly, I know you guys in the past have tried to do that, but then ran out of time. I was there one time for it, but you were able to. I think like the first day you were able to do so or not. But a lot of film festivals do not incorporate that. Like you're like really like you'd be shocked. People can assume that film festivals do it, but not everyone, like not a lot of festivals do it. And I think it's very like it's an integral part to it because you get to know the filmmaker. And if I'm in the stands as a filmmaker and I hear how like passionate someone is or like, see their work, I'm like, I want to work with that person now.
See that the last time we had an in-person, showing, when it was, I don't know what year it was, 1972, something like that. It was, it kind of bothered me because I was over at Porta and, we're showing these films and it was, so jammed in. I had a filmmaker come up to me and he's like, will I have time in between the sets or the film? And I went over to JT and he's like, dude, we have like seconds in between. So there's not really any way to do it. But that was the way it was done. And that was the way we understood that it might be, as opposed to how we're going to, recreate it now and do something completely different from what we've done and where we really want to incorporate that. And that's what, when I talked to the people at this other house, we'll call it, a house of, not a house of independent. I don't want to give the wrong impression, but
It's another movie house.
It's another movie house that we may, hopefully that we'll be able to utilize for this next festival, barring any wackiness that may happen on the planet in between. But that being said, that's when I was talking to the people who either own it or run it, because I talked to both of them. I said, look, we're really about stepping it up for the filmmaker, the producer, director, and the actor, and really giving them a place.
Gotta love it.
Sound like a fart noise. So we really just wanted to give them an opportunity to utilize that time and space where I felt really bad in the past, where I didn't have the ability to make that call. It was already a done deal. Like the films had been compressed, they've been put into the queue, and this is what we had. So now moving forward, I have, so we're going to make the films, we're going to put the films in a queue.
This is what happens when it goes live, I guess.
Yeah,
There's
we're gonna
can't cut and redo it again.
No, that's okay.
Was
This
that
is-
the
this is
cough that
fun.
you're talking about? or the noises?
Whatever the noise
The alien noise I heard
Well,
behind
yeah.
curtain number
was.
one.
I thought there was just a fart noise.
My son Aiden is autistic, and when he gets very excited, he vocalizes. He's
that's
just
cool.
he's a very interesting kid. But yes, you have to laugh through it
No,
because
that's cool.
that's
just-
the
It
way
made
it
me
is.
laugh. Yeah.
Well,
It makes me laugh
I'm
all
living
the
with a
time.
7-year-old right now, and everything is a fart noise or a poop.
And
or
you're a
whatever.
newlywed, so
Yes.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, you can. Well, you
Yeah,
can.
right now, for right now.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
You know what? You're gonna enjoy it all along. I don't know how much rest you're gonna get, but you're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
Um,
Sleep is shit.
I go back to I like the influx of ideas. We have new eyes on the films.
Mhm.
We have new people on the board. Our buddy Maurice Paramore. My goodness, I want to sit down with him and pick his brains because
Yeah, we have
he's
to.
just a master promoter. He's so driven and motivated,
and a very
yeah.
nice guy.
and an amazing guy.
Yeah.
But he's
Super
so busy.
humble.
Yes.
I feel like he's just super humble and like when he was here at one time, just very quiet and
Yeah, very chill.
not really
dude.
braggadocious. Some people are more that way
No, I think
when they
he
have
gets
nothing
it.
to show for
Right,
it.
well, I think he
honestly.
gets it. I think he gets that he's created the world that he lives in, and he talks about that a lot of times. Stay positive. Don't let other people steal your shit. Like your dreams or anything like that. Don't tell anybody. Don't allow anybody to tell you how it's going to be. Create your own. And and when I was bringing him on, to work with the board and have him sit on with us and stuff like that. I felt like, this guy knows what's going on. So, from not just from a filmmaking perspective and and art and stuff like that, but from a spiritual end too. So that was really a cool thing. So,
Yes.
yeah,
So
I love watching him work. It's good stuff.
between Maurice Paramore, and Chris Orangio, and the other people that have eyes in our movies, and we will say their names in the near future. All professionals,
Mhm.
all people that are passionate about filmmaking and acting. And speaking of acting, and speaking of offerings for for industry people, I would love to get some sort of event for actors.
Mhm.
You know, like you're an actor, I'm an actor, you've acted before.
I've acted like a fool sometimes,
But that's
yes.
fine. That's fine. We all act
Still an
like fools.
actor.
You're still an actor, absolutely. And you know, even behind the board, we have an incredibly creative person who's done it all.
I think my favorite. I think
that means you, Christian. I think.
I think my favorite thing he's done was that F Brock Turner song.
Oh my gosh.
That was amazing. No, don't be ashamed.
I'm
Can we
not
get a
ashamed.
clip of that?
I'm not ashamed of it. It's just really funny considering the direction my channel's gone in the recent years.
Mhm.
But then it just the glimmering speck that is Buck Brock Turner.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, here's some songs about Thomas and Dick.
But the energy and the overall, the overall energy of that
Mhm.
song could fall under Thomas the Tank, you know.
Right.
But that's the joke. It's so sweet sounding.
Mhm.
It sounds like, oh, it's a fun little, and then it's just, oh my god.
Right,
So
right.
now that we're speaking about it, you know, the way, you know, it's traditionally done here at, at a Shared Universe Podcast Studios is there will be a link in the comments below for people to see what F. Brock Turner is about. I'm
Yes.
just saying, you know,
Mm.
that's what I'm saying. But speaking of, you know what, I would like to create, let's be honest. I'm enjoying the film festival thing. We all need reps.
Yeah.
In order to keep being good at your craft. If you're a director, you need reps. If you're a music producer, you need to produce.
Mhm.
You need to make a ton of mistakes and grow from them. Well, the same thing with actors. And you know, what better forum than a film festival, you know, where you have a lot of creative people, a lot of fellow actors.
Yeah, I like there's one event I went to, I think in somewhere near like Jersey City, and it was like a creative meetup, and I don't like going to those because there's not a lot of people that go there, or it's just like it is somehow always cliquey because you end up knowing everyone. But I ended up going by myself when I first moved back home, and it was really good, like networking event.
Mhm.
And you know, at the time it was business cards.
Mhm.
Believe it or not, in 2014. But you know, fast forward now, it's just like give me your Instagram and things of that nature.
Hey,
But
give
I
me
think
your name, I'll look you up.
But I think
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like a directors, actors, networking event would be phenomenal.
And you know what? It's kind of funny or corny, but because we're not a video, we could have freaking labels: director, actor, writer. Have people stick it on
Mm.
themselves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is.
Oh my
Hello,
God!
my
What's
name
one
is.
of the labels?
Hello, my name is.
Hello, my name is.
Hello, my name. Yeah.
What up, staff?
That's cool.
Well, sure, a lot of people here called staff.
Mm-hmm. Is that just an infection or something
I'm
else?
sorry. Yes. Well, so now we're speaking about the things that we would like to see in 2022, and let's be honest, it's on us.
Shoot.
It's on us to create it.
Mhm.
In a couple of
Gotta make
minutes,
it
we
happen.
should have one of the filmmakers and maybe even one of the actors of one of the films that was in our Best of the Fest. So we will speak a little bit more about Best of the Fest. But I do have a question for you guys, both on a personal level and a professional level for a film festival.
You
I
didn't-
have to ask,
Oh man.
what are you
Okay.
thankful for in 2021 and 2022?
So many things.
Yes.
Well, I mean, just well, yeah. I think if we're gonna go, you know, small to cosmic, I would say, you know, health and family, friends, my son, my wife, you know, family, friends, my career. Is this where you're going with this, or you just
Absolutely,
kinda,
but I
okay,
also
okay.
want to know hotties. Like,
Oh
what,
yeah,
what,
with it was,
what is hotties, and what are we thankful for?
well, I think the group. Well, I am totally thankful for where this is now and what's going on, because even though last year was kind of a shit show, we're really looking at kind of transforming that into something different. We're taking it in a different direction, and not that it wasn't headed in a direction of whatever, you know, like, I mean, we've always been about the filmmaker, we've always been about the director on some level, and I just want to just want to say that we want to create a more balanced thing, and that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the Q&As. We're talking about networking. We're talking about giving time in between, for people to talk about their films, the best of the fest, doing those more often, different places. I just like the whole intensity, the whole idea, the idea of creating more with different people and having, a place to just kind of do that. I'm grateful for this, the podcast studio, because this is really kind of what created our little fun fest, because
A shared universe.
because it's the festival that started it off, and we modeled that after like Golden Door and a couple of other popular festivals, and then we've kind of made it into our own, and now we're at the next level. We're changing it into another, and we've morphed it into something else. So as far as Hotties goes, I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for this podcast that we get a chance to fuck around and have a couple of beers, talk smack, talk films, bust each other's chops, and have people come on, like Eve Austin or Maurice Paramore, or tonight we're going to try to have Robert Asensio come on, and he's busy filming, so that's a good thing for him. Cool. But I look forward to who we might have on in the future. Rob's not here tonight, but normally Rob Akinpor is on with us, and he's connected with a few people that we really want to have on the show. By the way, he had an incredible, if you didn't get a chance to see it or hear it, I don't know, maybe you did, Christian. I listened to his podcast with Marshall Crenshaw, and that was incredible. I love Marshall Crenshaw. If you get a chance to listen to him, it's very like almost folk rockabilly type, not folk, but rockabilly-ish 80s stuff. Just good upbeat kind of music. I
had no idea who he was until I saw his picture.
Yeah.
But
you probably know the music, right? From the 80s and the 90s.
Believe it or not, I know him from the movie La Bamba.
Yes. He played
Buddy Holly. I mean,
you guys were talking about this.
Small
You
but
guys
pivotal.
were talking about that, yeah.
The old adage that there are no small parts.
Right.
He has a couple of lines in the movie,
and he played John Lennon in I don't know what it was. I don't think it was Meet the Beatles. No, that was them. It was another Beatles like docudrama, something like that. That he plays.
One of the early biopics. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And he didn't want to get pigeonholed as that. And then he was saying in with Rob, and Rob, I got to be honest with you, man. I've watched a few of his things on A Game and watched a few clips, one with Matt Pinfield, Marshall Crenshaw, and I've watched one or two others, and I just love the way he picks people's brains and what he comes up with, and goes to slides.
Sure you could
he
he knows who he's talking to.
And he pulled a slide. He pulled a clip from Marshall Crenshaw being on American Bandstand in the 1980s with Dick Clark, and I just thought, wow, man. And I don't think Marshall Crenshaw knew what to say. He was kind of blown away by like, wow, man, you dug that up. So
Rob Akinpor does his homework. This
is where I'm really grateful to be working with creative people, Christian included in that, because he's not just part of Shared Universe, but we have this connection, through, just his creative art, his stuff that he does, and and where we know him from besides here. So this is just a cool place, and I'm grateful for this time, and I'm just happy to be here.
Me too.
Happy to always have you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Yeah, no.
I remember one of the first times I sat in with y'all, when it was just at our old studio in Eatontown, and I was just like, this is a cool group of people.
Yeah,
man, we had you fooled,
and it wasn't just because you accepted my short film,
right? No.
But it was like you guys just had a good vibe about you, and I was like, these are my people.
Thanks,
because it'd take me a long time to find my filmmaking community,
right?
In New Jersey, because growing up, you were like, where the hell was everybody? And then I get into high school, and apparently it was everywhere except where I was at.
Right. Wow.
It always seems that way when you're looking for fellow creatives, until it's not that way, until you find someone.
To add on to Brian, what he was saying, kind of, this year has, for me personally, has been very, very tough.
Yeah.
But like, having, my wife's been helping me out a lot with stuff, and family has been more important than ever. But I've been trying to like get off the ground doing like creative short films this year, and I've been failing left and right. So this kind of fed my like creative bug, because we talk almost every week.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys actually like value what I have to say, which is kind of rare sometimes. Like for people who don't like we don't know each other. Like
He must be recently married.
yeah.
I'm
But no, but like, you guys actually value like what I bring to the table. And I'm not saying people who I've worked with in the past haven't. It's just there's no butting heads
Right
here, and every other endeavor I've had, I don't know if it had to be ego.
It is ego, youth and egos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Not that
just
there's not egos in adulthood too. I'm saying.
being able to have like something creative, like kind of fill your time with when you're going through a lot of hard shit. I think that's really good. And then seeing like the success of Best of the Fest, like, I remember leaving there, and partially all of us were starving, but at the end of the day, I went to go get something to eat with Sarah, her husband, my dad, and my wife. And my dad's like, wow, those were some really, really good films. I'm like, well, that's why it's called Best of the Fest. But he's like, no, like they were really good. Like,
Yes,
like kind of like holy
Best of the Fest.
again.
I was like, again,
to sound
Dad. I
redundant.
was like, this ain't the mediocre, best of the, mediocre of the
That's
fest.
called the Razzies, Dan.
Yeah. But he's just kind of, because obviously your parents are most likely going to say, oh, you did a good job. But my dad's like, yeah, no, Instant was good, but this one was really like he loved Mark Clawberg's, and he thought which one he was like dying laughing at. Oh, he loved Matched.
Yeah, that was a classic.
There was just
That was
some
great.
good ones out there.
Don't
that he
Jump?
Really, Don't Jump. Yeah, he loved that.
Oh my god!
Don't Jump was my favorite. And I got to interview Loring and Laura on our Instagram page, and they were just, they've been making, I guess art for years together, and you could tell like the chemistry. So, but that was nice. That like when we did that last month, that was very much like, okay, I think like, not all is lost, because like I said, I was trying to make films, like I'm talking 5-page scene, 1-day shoots, like for my acting reel, and it just kept falling through. And I'm like, something's going on, like what's happening? But this, like, we did it, and people had a blast, and it was a packed house. When I was doing the Q&A and we were up there talking, I'm like, damn, there's a lot of people here. So that's what I'm thankful for towards, as the year is ending.
Thank you for sharing, man. That's cool.
Yes. Well, I have to say that I'm very thankful for you guys. Sound like a broken record, but Mike Zabzik, Ming Chen, Christian, and everybody at the Shared Universe Podcast Studios, obviously. The people that we haven't mentioned too much, which are like the sponsors that we've had traditionally in the past. We don't even know who's going to be our sponsor this year.
Hopefully Icarus.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, your beer's great if anyone from Icarus is watching. So
yes. And, but, we've had...
in the past,
we've been blessed. We've been blessed.
In the past, we've had Smith Group, and we've had Dog Joint, a couple of other places.
The Empress Hotel.
I just asked my bank over in Neptune if they'd be willing to jump on board. She's going to get back to me. But she said, "Can I come to the festival?" I said,
"Of
sure,
course.
Yeah.
My gosh.
It's a thing. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But
I have to say that I'm very thankful. We have a good list of people that watch movies, but some of the recent additions, Rye Caraway, lovely young lady who's an amazing photographer, very, very kind and very patient with her subjects. And
I met her. Christian tagged her in one of my Facebook posts because I was looking for a behind the scenes photographer. Christian tagged her, and I messaged her, and she was very open to do it. And then I was like, wow, the photos look amazing.
Another amazing,
the little amount of time she was able to come on set. So that's when I was like, nah, we need you for Best of the Fest.
An amazing, and she's another creator. Yeah. She's an actor. She's a photographer. She's a music producer.
Rye, they're good people.
A model.
They've been, I've known them for about 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And they had just started wanting to get into film, and they were so grateful. Mm-hmm. for being on set with you. I had heard nothing but excellent.
Yeah,
so
I
was
great.
So glad I got to connect you.
Yeah,
with
man.
them.
That likewise, man. She was she was great. We have to do more reshoots for that film. So I'm like, hey, if you're free, because I know you're busy. And what impresses me the most is I started doing film at 22. And I know some people may think that is kind of young, but people are starting a lot younger now. And the fact that they have the confidence to start it at 18, I would not be able to like start film. I didn't even know who I was at 18. Now you have people who have seemed like seasoned veterans at like 22 are like, man, I've been in this shit
thanks
forever,
to YouTube,
you know?
and all of that.
Well,
they
yeah,
don't
but
really call themselves filmmakers, but they've been de facto.
No, but like
creators
I see
for a long
Rye's
time,
work
yes.
and what she posts, and I'm like, this is phenomenal. Like
Yes.
at 22, I was just discovering like Stanley Kubrick and like other films where, you know, and other people are like, nah, I've been on that, you know, that wave kind of thing for a while. Like I've been on that I've seen all these movies. So it always makes me happy when I see people who are a lot younger, like really following their creative path. My parents didn't. Because my grandparents were like, you'll never make money in that. And my dad and my mom were both like, F that. Go do it. If you're gonna do it 110%.
That's what they told you.
Yeah, they're like, if
go
you're
for
gonna,
it. Go
yeah,
for
they're
it.
like,
Nice.
It's because they learned from
my dad's
exactly.
like, my dad always wanted to be a stand-up comedian. My mom is a phenomenal artist. They always wanted to pursue that. So they were like, I'm going to stand by it. And they saw how serious I was taking it. If they saw I was effing around, like, of course they're not gonna, they're gonna be like, all right, maybe you gotta do something different. But
you got to get off that couch in the basement.
I just really
Chris.
love that. I just love seeing younger people really just pursue it, man, because so many people are like, no, don't do it.
There's definitely room in your life to do what you must,
right,
and to create space to do what you want. And Rye's not the only one. We've Andrew Froning, Steve Hanisch,
Yep,
Ms. Catherine Malusky,
I love all those people.
Kate Dalton.
Yes,
amazing people that have
Christian, did you want to ask?
Oh no, I'm good, thank you. Cool.
Kate Dalton was the lady at the Best of the Fest, right?
yes,
yes,
and she has an acting resume too. She's
But you mentioned Steve, Andrew, and Katie Malusky. Like those are like really close friends of mine who I've worked with all the time, and I would trust them wholeheartedly. Like with everything because they know movies, But
Mm-hmm.
Katie's also another one. I seem to always talk about her all the time. She's like 22, 23, and like, man, the future for her is like super, super bright. And I feel like she's just really starting to tap into like she did a film 2 years ago where she directed it for college and ended up winning an award. And then the same night she took home Best Actress against like, for Little Did She Know. I'm bragging about my film. I apologize, but like I'm bragging about her. Like cool. She took an award home versus actresses I've seen win all the time, and I'm like, holy, it was really nice to see. So yeah, but the team that you've been able to put together, man, like you got some good people. Sorry, I see your kid running out there like Sonic.
Oh my Lord, God bless.
Sugar rush.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What did he find out there?
Okay.
Sugar, oh honey. He's not.
He's going to be hopping on soon. He said
he'll be there momentarily.
So yeah,
I have a question for you guys while I have you in regards to film festivals, because it's something I've noticed recently. So I might be working on a project that's that is dealing with pre-existing IP. It's going to be a fan film, but I noticed out there that there wasn't really many festivals that celebrated them, despite there being hundreds of really well-made fan films. Is there a reason why that there's not really festivals that delve into that space, or is it just because of the fact that it is with IP? Like if it's not for profit, where's the issue?
So I entered one of my films into on Film Freeway. It was just Indianapolis Comic-Con, San Francisco Comic-Con, and Tampa Bay Comic-Con, and all of like they had a legit film festival there, and that's where you saw a lot of fan made films. Christian might be able to speak more on it than I am. I go to YouTube for fan made films. I would love to see like a Batman Beyond or just a Batman. I saw Batman versus Dexter fan made film. Like I would love to see that at festivals, because I think, to answer your question, and then you guys can chime in, of course, I think like for me, like I don't know what's legal and what's not legal. Like, can I? Because I've always wanted to make a fan made Arrow film. I saw that. I loved the first 2 seasons of the show, and then it kind of went downhill. But like a fan made Arrow film
Jump
would
the
be
shark.
dope to do. Yeah, but I think I'm always afraid. Like, can I legally make this? So I'm always wondering,
yeah.
But I don't know. I that's a good question. If I saw a fan made film submitted to Hang On to Your Shorts, I would be like, I think that would be a cool section in itself. Honestly,
but that's the thing where I was wondering why can't they just kind of screen out of competition? Like maybe where it's like they're not really involved in the main thing. There's no real award for it, but like you get a chance to see it on the big screen because, all right, you get the early exclusive. I'm working on a Ghostbusters short film.
Oh, that is awesome.
We're gonna do a horror short. There's
That's
never
great.
been a horror film in the world of Ghostbusters. Like Ghostbusters is a horror comedy, but like
it's more comedy.
Yeah.
Horror.
Yeah.
So
okay,
been working on that, but I'm like, I would love to put that out somewhere other than just YouTube because like,
well,
but.
I would look at Comic Cons.
I think that
Honestly, but
I personally, the only slippery slope with like, for example, Hang On to Your Shorts Film Festival, it is that what if we have to go virtual?
right.
What if there's no copyrighted music in it?
Right.
Yes,
and
no.
And that's what we kind of ran into.
If we're going to
with a few
screen
things.
in a movie theater, you know what? We could probably screen it. Really, who's gonna kick?
Who are those hooligans that just walked through?
I hear you.
New York Comic Con or Comic Palooza in Houston can do that. Well, honestly, so can Hang On to Your Shorts. I honestly have never looked into that. We've never really been approached about that, but it is something
you don't
that,
even see. You don't see that. I think people make it. I think people make these films just to make them. Like there's a Nightwing web series. And it's like fully produced, like it looks.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
Yeah,
I think I saw that.
And I,
or at least a clip.
And then I don't know who was the director who made the pretty much like R-rated Power Rangers like short film back in the day with Kate. What's her name?
Oh, I remember that.
Kate
Beckinsale.
Yeah.
Beckinsale. She was
she
in
would later go on to be
Sackhoff.
Mandalorian.
She was in Longmire. Yeah. So that Power Rangers, everyone's like, I hated that because that was rated X. They were doing coke. They were doing this. But like that director, I think, went on to do like something else. You know?
He went on to, I think, do either a feature, one, or like just.
So I think that's a good question you made, man. Like I think fan made films are very under the radar because I saw that Batman vs Dexter. I love both, obviously, but that was a fun watch.
I think that we can. I think that there is room. Let's say that we allocate an hour and a room, right? And we don't charge. Yeah. We don't charge the film, like just submit. Like
we I mean, I think the thing is as we move through this, we're looking into, what else is going on out there. And I mean, granted, I don't want to get into TikTok and, this, that, and the other thing, but I do think that when people create, like you're talking about, something that you're creating. Now, granted, it's a spinoff of some original work.
Yeah, it's a spinoff of a bigger piece of IP.
But it's a reimagination.
But that's what makes it amazing is that you're able to take, like, how many things have branched off of Star Wars?
Sure.
Like, just think
Star
about
Wars
that.
had an official film festival for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, when Disney bought them.
Yeah.
Bing.
Bye.
Yeah.
All right. Your guest is here, man. Should I add him in?
Well, yes, ladies and gentlemen. So you know what? We knew this gentleman because he submitted his film Night to the Hang On to Your Shorts Film Festival. We loved it.
Yes,
of course. And we had
he was very enthusiastic, asking questions, and he was hyped for everybody's film. Like I loved it.
He was
Mr. Enthusiasm.
Him and Chris Grant were definitely
they were front row,
and
they were asking every question.
Engaged every question. They were an absolute plus to this film festival. And then afterwards, we went out.
We got to hang out with them.
We got to hang out, and I've never met anybody as intellectual and deep as this sucker. Oh my god!
Yeah, those two guys together were blowing me away with all the spiritual stuff we were talking about, and it was very cool.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Robert Asensio on.
What's up?
That I would go to closed down. All the good parking lots are now taught like skyscrapers.
I don't know.
What's going on here?
Is that me?
It wasn't fun anymore.
Oh my god, I'm an idiot. That was my bad. There was audio playing some iTunes, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?"
He's got 9 different things going on behind the
I was like, "Damn,
here.
Robert sounds way different this time."
Sorry
What's
about
up, y'all?
What's
How
up,
you
man?
doing, man?
How you
Good.
doing?
How was shooting tonight? How was shooting tonight?
Oh, it was good. Yeah, I was trying to come back. I mean, I was like, oh man, I was like, you guys caught me right. I'm right in the middle of like this little shoot, but
Nice.
yeah, I was like, oh man, hopefully I could come back in time to chat up.
You know, you came back
Yeah.
at the perfect time.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
we have about 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and that's what I asked you. You know, man, of all the people we could have had, you know, that represented beautifully at our Best of the Fest, man, you were amazing. Just your mere presence. So thank you so much, buddy.
Awesome, man. Yeah, same. I mean, I loved being around everyone. It was a good time. Definitely.
A few days before the Best of the Fest, Rob showed up to set. We were on dress code, and I saw the name on the call sheet. I was like, "Oh shit!" Like it's Rob. He's gonna be, you know, he did night and all that. So like when he showed up, I was like, "Hey man, I introduced myself." And then you just crushed that scene, bro. You were so
Oh,
yeah, no, don't even now. You crushed it. You were great. You added a lot to it. And then a few days later, we got to watch some of our movies. But that just shows you how small like
The world.
the film world is. But yeah, man, you're like super down to earth, and it was pretty. Just I love that kind of shit. I love like, oh, we're about to be in a film together, and then the festival like 3 days later. So I
Oh
thought
yeah, that was a good time.
yeah,
Synchronicity, man.
Yeah,
There's a little
exactly. I thought it
synchronicity.
was. I was like, man, that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
So yeah, we screened your movie Night, which was, you know, it was amazing, but it was emotional. It was emotional. It dealt with loss. You know,
Grief and
I just
loss,
wanted to
yeah.
ask you like where that movie came from.
That's interesting. Yeah, because I kind of that was kind of like the first time where I told myself that before then I did like a lot of closet films and stuff like that, like just things to practice on. But that was like the first time where I said, you know, I want to write something that's like honest, and real and truthful, and tried to figure out I mean, that's something that I've been exploring now as an actor and an artist in general, trying to be more honest with myself and truthful and bring my truth and honesty and my own instincts to everything that I do so it can come off more authentic and not come off as kind of a facade or kind of like something that's pre-made. I started saying to myself, let me really focus on just if it embarrasses me or if it scares me, I kind of go that way. Or I guess it's just something that happened to me in my life. I mean, I think this film came about because my brother was sick. He was in a hospital, and I kind of wanted to write. I just took that energy that I was feeling at that time about loss, and I don't know. I mean, I could talk about loss and uh, what that is to me. I mean, me and Chris talk about that a lot, about loss, and I mean, sort of in a healthy way, about you know what's that feeling. And I think for me, like as a filmmaker, that's kind of like my kind of I don't know what it is. It's just something that you know. Sometimes I've always was fascinated with painters. Like I love Picasso. Picasso could paint every type of style in the world. You know, his father wanted him to be like a classical painter, a fantastic classical painter, but he ended up painting like a child and studying Cubism. And then he painted once he found Cubism, he just kept doing it for the rest of his life. So I was always fascinated with the fact like how did he just find that and then never get bored of it? And it's similar to like the subject of loss and melancholy and dreams. It's something that it's like Night has been like the root of that. And for my next film, I'm kind of that I'm shooting now, I'm diving even deeper into what that is. Even more, it's a bit longer than Night, but it's still kind of exploring that. But really, Night came about because of that experience that happened with my brother, him being sick, and just wanting to explore that feeling of loss. That's kind of like, and it's still in my head. I don't really know what it is, but I think film is a great way to kind of have a mirror so that you can look at it and kind of like find these secrets, and then you can work on another one and then apply it to that one, and then you make another one, apply it to that one until you kind of get the whole puzzle piece because it's kind of like in your subconscious. I can't really figure it out unless I put it out and then kind of have a conversation with it through editing the film, and then you kind of find other little aspects of what's going on inside your head. I can't really. It's very strange.
I think it's one of our human obsessions. Dealing with pain, dealing with loss. There's every last one of us has dealt with it. Every last one of us has struggled with it. And as a creator and as an artist, and you're also an artist, like an artist, painter, creator. When you can tap into like something that we all feel and challenge us to face it, that's some tough shit.
And do it well in a story, that was compelling, that really pulled us in and gave us an opportunity to look a little bit behind the curtain and feel what those people might be feeling. That was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, when I was watching Night, I just I felt like the heartbreak. Like I felt it right on my sleeve. But it's just funny that you said that. Like you wrote this concept when you were going through extreme grief and that you were probably at your you had to be at your lowest point. I feel like it's always interesting when for me, when I'm at my happiest or when I'm at my like saddest, it's when I feel the most creative. And it's just so weird. Like when I'm feeling like when nothing's going on in life and I try to write, I can't. But like I said, if I'm feeling extreme joy, I'm like, let me try and write. But when I'm feeling extreme sadness, it's like, it's right here. Like I'm like, I can write, everything I'm feeling is right here. It's interesting that's how, an artist's brain works that way, and it's very different from someone else who isn't a creative versus someone who is a creative. They are going to turn that pain, and this is how I'm going to express it. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to post about it on Facebook. I'm just going to make art.
I just want to ask you, did Chris and Gabby, were they your friends or did you cast them? Like,
no, they were my friends. They went to school with me. We all graduated from King University in the theater program. Yeah, we all went there together. And I mean, really what kind of came about was, while I was there, I was always like writing like little closet films, having fun. I always loved playing with cameras since I was a kid. So even like DV cameras, I always had a DV camera as a kid. So I would always mess with cameras. But then what kind of kicked me off to wanting to write films was because really it was a catch-22 with acting. I couldn't get acting work if you didn't have a video reel. So I was just like, my God, I want to act.
Oh, yeah, we're on the same page. Yeah,
you have to create your own content.
Yeah, you got to create. That's what I did. I did that with Night, and then after I did that with Night, I did it with some other ones that I have on my reel. And after that, after I created my own reel, that's how I started getting more work. But then after that, I said to myself, oh man, I want to continue to make films. And I started falling in love with filmmaking and making films more or less because it was such it's the same thing I get with painting. It's like, I can't really know. I'm just so fascinated with what's happening in my mind. And words aren't enough. It's like I need to make a painting so that I can try to see it and understand it. And then a reflection of yourself. And then filmmaking is like, I always say, it's like you get to make memories or situations in time to try to understand a situation better. So really, I love making films because I'm trying to figure out what my subconscious is trying to tell me in a way. That's really what it is.
Just processing stuff.
It's just that's what it is, and I find that film is so
cathartic.
Good. When I saw it on obviously I love the fact that, man, I'm so blessed to have seen it at the festival in the theater. That was I said it in one of the posts. I said that a tear came into my eye when I saw it in the screen because it was so surreal because I was just thinking about writing it in a hospital, and it hit me there when I saw it, and I was just like, man. It was just so surreal to see it on there, and it just made me really realize, especially with that experience, and then continuing to write film and creating art, how important it is to those moments are so important as an artist in general. Even those little moments, and every single moment as an artist is so important, and try to be grateful for every single moment, and especially with that, with seeing it there was such a huge thing for me to continue to make films.
Well, Hang On to Your Shorts was very blessed to have you and your fellow creative people, Chris O, who's now part of the board, but when he submitted that film, he was one of the Hotties family as a creator, not as a director or any level like that. But thank you. I just want to is Night available anywhere? What's your plans with that?
That's an interesting thing. I mean, I'm probably I'm still kind of like putting it out there a little bit. There's some other festivals that I've kind of still put it out there. I'm planning on. I don't know. That's a great question. I mean, as a filmmaker, that's something that I've been kind of still thinking about where I am with filmmaking. I mean, I think right now I'm just making as much films as I possibly can. I write a lot of scripts. I have this one film I'm filming now. I'm almost done with it, but it's been so weird because it's been all over the place. I really didn't shoot it like in a certain amount of days. It's been like all over the place because I'm still trying to figure out my method, similar to how I paint my paintings. I'm trying to figure out my method and my method of acting. So this one, I kind of decided to do it more improvisational film.
That's why you kept asking how long it took people to make the film.
Yeah.
There was a theme there.
So even with Chris, because Chris is on it and he knows how I work, and it's kind of like I'll go shoot a scene. It's similar to one of my favorite filmmakers, Wong Kar-wai. He's like a Korean master in Korea. I love his films, and he's very similar to the way I sometimes work. It's very improvisational. We go shoot a scene. Sometimes won't write lines. I'll just have we'll just talk it out,
Right.
and then we'll shoot it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we'll shoot it, and then from that I'll go home and look at all the footage, because the beautifulness of just pressing record on cinema cameras and unrecord and we're good. You could get so many takes, and then I'll go home, I'll look at everything, and then based on that I'll find something to write the next scene with, and then I'll shoot another scene, and I'll have all this footage and I'll put it all together, and I'll find something similar to how I do my collage paintings. I'll just find something in it, and then I'll find the story eventually. But I wanted the freedom of it.
Yeah.
I didn't want something so I wanted it to be more
restricted. It was kind of more open ended.
With improv, like strictly improv. Like I know Curb Your Enthusiasm does that.
Yes.
Larry David's like, this is where the scene starts. This is where we have to end, and that gives the room of all the actors to do that.
Yes.
I know for Best of the Fest that we keep forgetting to mention, all these films won an award. That's what the whole thing was behind it. So what did Night take home?
It was a Best New Jersey Festival, a Best New Jersey film. Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great, man. It was definitely worth. It's been worth all the accolades and the praise that we're giving it, because it was really well. It was shot well, and that, like you said, you made the film with two of your like close friends from college.
Yes,
That's where you could tell like that the chemistry between them was just, I don't know. It's just you can't really. You can't find that every day, if that makes sense.
Right. In the end, a lot of filmmakers, create films to create work for themselves and their friends.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
family.
The same way,
Sure,
Rob.
yeah.
I was like, I'm not getting casted in anything.
Yeah.
Well, I could find someone who can press record and who can light, because I sure I can write. I feel like I can write and act. So like, let's do it. Let's make your own work for you. You put it out there, and people are like, "Oh, damn, you're not half
that's
bad."
not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way. I think that's what I tell every actor or every creative person to do.
Don't wait for it.
To just don't wait for it. I think it's so rewarding to see you get and it's so dope because you can write your own. You can play characters that you want to play.
Yeah.
You know, you can write your own character that you want to play, because I mean, obviously, in the acting world, you get sometimes put into a certain place, and you know that's beyond you. That's not a part of your control. You know what I mean?
No,
It's
there is a type for a reason, and
yeah,
you know what? That's not a bad thing that
yeah,
you have a type, because some people, you know, there may not be a lot of people that look like you that project and present and represent what you do, and even if you're not playing what you want to play, you could cry all the way to the bank.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's why it's so important to be able to, you know, make your own food, so to speak, and then you know play that be in that other world. It's and then there's a balance, and you're not always like, oh man, I wish I could play this, I
Yeah.
wish I could play that. So it's like I found like the healthy balance for me is like I'll go out there and play what I have to play and have fun and do what I got to do, and work with other people because I love collaborating with other people. But then you know you get to kind of play the parts that you want to play.
That's
And
yeah, exactly,
you're
man.
writing yourself. And
Yeah,
so
even
it's just a great it's such a healthy way to live as an actor. I always tell people it's so healthy because you don't have to have the stress. For me, especially like now, like I don't have the stress of going like, oh my God, I can't work or this or that. And I can just literally write myself apart and
exactly. Yeah, on a
Right,
smaller scale, I was noticing I was always casted as like the goofy, like comic relief, and I'm like, nah, I want to expand my horizons. I want to kind of test my boundaries, and you know, I've been able to really do that. I think that's the beautiful thing when you are capable to like make your own films. Like I think that's what a lot of people take for granted. Like, yeah, you can keep auditioning because you want to work on bigger projects and maybe you want to get paid for a project. But at the same time, like if you are lacking work, you could just be like, nah, man, I went to school for this, you know, or like I
Yeah,
went to
yeah.
school for this,
I
or I can do this,
create
you
my
know?
own stuff.
And like you
Yeah.
said, Rob, like you get to write a character that maybe you've always wanted to play. And it's maybe not the lead, it's maybe not the hero, it could be an anti-hero, it could be, you know, like a Silent Bob or you know, someone
yeah.
reminders like Hiram mentioned earlier, no character is too small, you know, you have that effective character.
Yes, that's
So
such a great thing that you just said. I mean, I think that no, there's no such thing as a. I mean, that saying, there's no such thing as a small characters, small actors. It's just you kind of have to. Even when I would do, it's hysterical. Even when I would do background work, I would do a character study and make my whole character based on how I am in the world.
Sure.
You know, in that world, I'll go to the place and I'll know like they'll send me what the location is. I would literally make my own character based on not having dialogue, just because sometimes you don't need. I always say you don't need lines to be an actor because there's a lot of people who walk around in this world who don't ever talk and they have an internal dialogue going on. So I always, every time I play characters in background or anything, I don't ever think it's like not being it's not a character. I'm like, I am a character.
Yes.
But I have to exercise what it is. What is this character thinking inside if he's not talking? Like, and so there's that inner dialogue that's going on. So that's another exercise that I try to do instead. So you can like grow as an actor and as an artist in every single way. I think no opportunity is small. You know, if you think about it in a certain way. I mean, my characters in my films, I don't usually cast myself with someone that has a lot of lines. I tend to cast myself as someone who's very quiet because I don't know why.
Because obviously you're very quiet.
Because
Introverted guy.
I don't talk that much. I mean, to be honest with you, it's because the reality is because I love to be the camera operator, but I also want some real footage.
Sure. No doubt. No
I
doubt.
want the real footage. So I'm
So
like,
you asked
let me write myself a character that just hands somebody something and says 30 seconds of something, so I can have 30
yeah,
seconds.
you're M.
be a
Night,
part
you're
of it.
Hitchcock, yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, so I'll do that. That's like my M. Night Shyamalan
Yeah.
kind of plug in. But yeah, I tend to, as a filmmaker, just man, there's something about filming actors. I mean, as much as I love acting, watching actors act truthfully and being themselves. Like as a director, like it's one of the most beautiful things to see an actor relaxed and confident in himself and allowing them to be their true self in whatever circumstance there are. It's and then off screen and on screen, seeing them be the same person but just playing the character's circumstance. That's when I know that it's a good time and they're being themselves. I think that's kind of like my favorite part of about filmmaking and acting is making sure that everyone is having a good time and having fun. I think that's one of the most important things for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What was it? I think we're
You
being
sound like
hijacked by aliens.
You sound like you're
Yeah.
underwater.
There we go.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh, was that me? Am I underwater?
No, that was not you.
No,
That was me, I
something
think.
happened.
know. I think it's because you're not wearing headphones, boss. Sometimes the speaker
Wow,
can come
right.
through, but it happens. It's all good.
Yeah.
No, it's all you can't. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
thanks for
I have to
coming
tell you,
on.
we have to do an episode one day on acting. We have to bring him
Yes,
because
yes, you have to
we
come
had
on.
conversation about acting, what it is, what it shouldn't be.
Oh my God.
We have to have that conversation here.
On the phone with Chris. Me and Chris were going on for like an hour talking about acting. Because listen, I could go on forever because I've read every acting book there is, and I love to talk about acting and what about human behavior. Me and Chris were. I'm gonna be brief. Me and Chris were just talking about the fact that every human being has grown up with a different set of what behavior and human emotion is.
Mhm.
So as a director, we're
Different
saying
filters, different experiences.
Sure,
different
Absolutely.
experiences. So
Perception.
yeah, so it's like, what is emotion? What is acting? Is acting based on the emotion that you grew up on, and you're saying, yeah, that's acting because that's how I grew up and I know that emotion. But if you don't understand an emotion and don't empathize with, say, a Hispanic culture's emotion growing up, a Black person's emotion growing up, then how you would look at it and say, well, that's not acting. That's bad acting. But it's just that you don't necessarily understand that culture or that emotion and that upbringing. So it's like you don't.
Very good point.
Yeah.
So me and Chris were having that conversation where it's just like, it's kind of as if the director is trying to create art based on his idea of what human behavior is, and that's what he's trying to portray in his film and acting. That's why it's so tricky sometimes as an actor, because sometimes you think you're not doing a good job in a scene, but in actuality, it's just that you just need more time, I think, exploring what the director's idea of behavior and
The
human
director's idea, yeah.
Right.
of that, what that is, because everyone is a sadness is different in every culture.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
different, and the way you hold your body is different in every culture. So they might look at it and say, wait, that doesn't look sad, but you're like, yeah, that's sad. This is what sad is.
Yeah, the way my family behaves in a funeral is very different than the way other people's families behave in a funeral, but it's 100% cultural.
Yeah,
One emoting is a personal.
Yes, absolutely.
cultural thing,
And
yeah.
see, this is a conversation that we had with him when
Well,
we
yeah,
went
this
out.
is what
This
we're
is-
crazy.
this is-
We're not crazy, but we're really cool.
yeah. This is where
Really
we
cool.
gotta.
We went down a
this
crazy
is, right,
rabbit
well, see,
hole.
this is
Yeah.
what we missed. I
I
asked you
know.
to come with us. I told you there was going to be food there.
He was
like,
hungry.
He was Jones in. I gotta get going. I gotta.
Yeah,
eat.
we were all
and it was
hungry.
fine. Yeah, and no, that's all good. But you and Chris came with us, and we went over to Jamian's, and like I didn't know what to expect. I just thought, oh, these guys are director and actor, blah 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 blah, and we were just gonna have a conversation about the film and that and the other. We got deep in the shit.
We were like, oh,
deep in that shit.
Yeah, I
which
was
was
driving
great.
home with my
Yeah.
girlfriend, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what just happened?"
Yeah,
Me and Chris just kept going in a ride home. We kept diving in.
yeah.
It's like we keep going deeper and deeper and deeper inside just to try to figure out. I guess just to try to figure. I mean, just to figure it out and to understand.
Good luck, man. Working on it for a long time. With
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Well, we thank you very,
thanks for
very
coming on,
much for
brother.
taking the time to come in with us on
Well,
such short
definitely.
notice. But my goodness, you know
Yeah.
what? You definitely left a crazy positive impression on us.
Yeah, man.
We do this for this reason, and
Yeah.
I hope that you had a good time
Yes.
at the Best of the Fest. You seem to have a good time.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
Like-
to be honest with you, that was like one of the. I think it was one of the. I think it was the first one that I actually went out to at night. To be honest, with you.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
First one.
So,
I
yeah.
didn't see night anywhere else because everyone was virtual.
Right.
Yeah, so we will try. I mean, we haven't even done the 2022 edition yet,
Yeah.
but what I would love to do is have at least 2 Best of the Fest between 2022 and 2023.
Yeah.
Now we're better prepared.
Yeah.
Now we know what to expect.
Pour me a beer.
Yes, but hey, brother, please tell Chris,
Yeah.
send our regards, and we really appreciate you taking the time
Thanks.
to come in, man. We really thank you
Definitely.
so much, hermano.
Yes.
And we will definitely be talking some more, okay?
Heck
Good
yeah.
on, bro.
Feliz
Thank
Navidad y
you.
Thank
próspero
you.
año nuevo, hermanito.
Yeah, you too, y'all, man. Keep doing it. Keep creating, man. I always say this to everyone. Every time I leave artists, I always say, if there's one thing as an artist that I can say, if as morbid as it sounds, if I would transition, would just be to keep making art forever, and then just keep searching.
So God
Mhm.
calls you home, man.
Yeah, man. That's all I would want to people to the last thing in my voice in their head to tell them to keep creating, because it's just so beautiful. And keep doing your thing, man, because I love hanging onto your shirt.
Good accountability, bro.
Y'all number one on my list, man. Like,
All right,
always.
man.
Y'all,
Thank you so much,
my
man.
new film, y'all number one. I'm gonna submit, man.
Well, we really
Thank you.
appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for
Yes.
creating great art. You and all the other great filmmakers, because you know what? You're amazing, but so were the other 9 others. They were awesome. And hey, brother, in 2022, whether you have a film or not, you got to
gotta
come
come
down,
down.
okay?
Definitely.
No, definitely. I'm coming down.
All right,
All right.
brother.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you so much, and thanks
Bring everyone
everybody
down.
for joining us. You know,
Yes.
until the next time, and we're probably not gonna be here till Christmas. So, Feliz Navidad, manito.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to everyone, and we'll probably get another one in before Christmas and New Year. Maybe. If not, we'll see you in 2022. God bless you. Keep submitting the films, and we can't wait to see you in 2022. This is Hiram.
This is BK. I want to thank Robert. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, showing up. That's great. That's very cool. Christian, thank you for working the board. Appreciate it.
problem.
Hang on to your shorts is in effect. I want to thank Shared Universe. I want to say thank you to Ming Chen and Mike Zapsik and Christian Cortez. And I want to say thank you to Chris O. Hiram. I am happy to be here. We are accepting films up until
December 31st.
December 31st.
Yep.
That's when we're cutting it off. And we are, cutting the films
Yeah.
off. That's nothing else. Nothing else is being cut. The films are being cut. And I'm looking forward to what's coming up. We started watching some stuff, and
Oh,
it's been
yes.
super
Yep.
cool. And I can't wait to hang out with you again, because we got into some stuff after that film fest, after that Best of the Fest. I got to be honest with you, bro. That was totally unexpected and that was welcome. That was very cool, man. That was very cool. So I can't wait to hang out with you again.
Chris Rangio, once again, thank you guys for bringing me on. Rob, it was nice catching up with you again. Hope to work with you again someday on
Oh,
one
yeah,
of our
definitely.
films.
I'm trying to work with all you guys, man.
Hell yeah, man.
Heck
Hell
yeah.
yeah. And thank you again for Shared Universe and Christian, man. You're always helping us out. So
Yes.
thanks, bro.
Yeah, Diana, AJ, and Aiden for providing the sound effects. And thank you so much, brother.
Yeah.
Later.
All right, y'all.